Welcome to Notre Dame Stadium for the 1993 matchup between the Boston College Eagles and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Let's join our announcers for the opening kickoff here on ESPN Classic.
Notre Dame huddling just before the kickoff. They break the huddle and Pendergast is set to kick it off. Top-ranked Irish, 17th rated Boston College Eagles. Squib kick taken by one of the up men. Not a very good kickoff, and Boston College fumbles the football. Looks like the Eagles might have gotten it back. Scrambling for the football as they untangle them. Boston College narrowly averting an opening disaster. Anthony Comer returned with the football. And here is Glenn Foley, who will lead the Boston College offense. He's been sensational in the Eagles' 7-game winning streak. 19 touchdown passes, only 3 interceptions. Mitchell leads the team in catches. Campbell, 19 touchdowns, number 1 in major college football scoring. Offensive line led by Tom Nalen, 3-year starter at center. Foley will throw on first down, and a little short pass taken by Campbell after it looked like it bounced off a couple of defenders, and he'll take it close to the 40-yard line where Jeff Burris and Greg Lane come up from the secondary to make the tackle. Starting defense now for Notre Dame. They've held 8 straight teams under 100 yards rushing. Up front, Bryant Young has just been named first-team All-American. Justin Goheen, the leading tackler, and the secondary very talented. Taylor tops with 4 interceptions. The multidimensional Burris will be all over the field, both offense and defense. First carry for Darnell Campbell, who caught the pass from Foley on first down, and Pete Bursich holds him to a gain of just a yard or so. It'll be 3rd and short for the Eagles.
And I like what Tom Coughlin has done right off the bat. After the disastrous start to the ball game last year for Boston College, he's come out very conservative, opening pass, a quick screen out to the fullback, now right back running on second down. He wants this team and this offense to get their feet on the ground.
2 tight ends, Mitchell and Lauro, on 3rd and short for the Eagles. Pitch it to Campbell. Darnell Campbell with a seam in the defense and a saving tackle made by John Covington. He was the last man between Campbell and the end zone as they easily pick up the first down.
Nice tackle at the end of this play by John Covington, or it could have gone for the distance. You see Boston College, who felt like that they did not get any respect whatsoever out of Notre Dame last year. Glenn Foley said they rubbed it in on us, and this is our year to make up for it. So far, Boston College doing a nice job pushing around the Fighting Irish up front.
First down, Eagles just short of midfield. Shirley in the game on first down. First down pass from Foley intended for Clarence Cannon. Falls short of the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Foley. Boston College has done a great job, Chris, of protecting Glenn Foley.
Now, Foley's been sacked only 6 times in 9 games. 4 of those sacks came in the opening game against Miami. So in the last 8 games, only 2 sacks of Glenn Foley. And boy, for the quarterbacks like that.
Nickel defense on now for the Irish. 2nd and 10. Split back to Foley. Ball at the Eagle 47. Draw play, Campbell. Got nothing. Perhaps a yard. Wrapped up by Justin Goheen and others. Goheen, the junior from Wexford, Pennsylvania, leading tackler on this Irish squad. That'll put him close to 80 for the season.
And I liked what he said yesterday when we talked to him. You know, that initial Florida State drive that went 89 yards in 11 plays. He said, yeah, sure. After that drive, we had a few doubts. We were thinking, uh-oh, maybe these guys are as good as advertised.
Goheen had a fleeting glimpse of fame as the NBC cameras caught him in a close-up being chewed out by Lou Holtz. He's been hearing about it ever since. Foley, man wide open, Cannon across the middle, but stopped at midfield. Only a 2-yard gain. Greg Lane and the Irish secondary doing a great job of tackling so far.
You wondered about the emotion of the crowd, the emotion of the players. Well, at least thus far, the crowd has been in it. Lou Holtz was concerned. They had their Friday or Saturday banquet, Friday banquet yesterday, and he said, you know, even the crowd was flat. How can my players be expected to be up if the crowd at the banquet's flat?
Jeff Beckley is on to punt for Boston College on 4th down. And it's a fake. And it'll be stopped. Mark Hartzell, who is the third-team quarterback for Boston College, took the snap and tried to get around the end. And a little payback time attempted by Tom Coughlin. The Eagles have been talking about the Notre Dame fake punt of a year ago all week.
And Hartzell really makes a mistake here. He's by the corner. Just run out there and now option the next man. But he allowed the end man on the line of scrimmage to take out the pitch back. If he had just started for the corner as fast as he could, they would have had a play.
Bobby Taylor made the play for the Irish. Notre Dame, first possession. Kinder breaks free. Randy Kinder shaking tacklers to the 40. A 13-yard gain on the first carry for the freshman Randy Kinder.
There's the two-time state champion in the 200 and 400 meters. His dream was to go to the Olympics. His dreams have probably changed now. He probably dreams of running behind the likes of Aaron Taylor over there on the left side. What a tremendous hole. Just wonder if anybody can stop this Fighting Irish running game.
Terrence Wiggins had to make a saving tackle. Kinder to the other side. Same result. Dives to the 30. Gain of 11. And another Irish first down. Michael Reed tripped up Kinder that time, but two big gains for the freshman.
Well, Steve Sabo, the defensive coordinator for Boston College, was really concerned about his undersized defensive line. Notre Dame averages 293 pounds up front. BC just 248 pounds. They're going to be doing a lot of games, loops, stunts up front, but at least so far, it has had no effect.
Tim Ruddy, the outstanding center of the Irish, didn't start the game. A little nicked up. Lance Johnson replaced him, but Ruddy is in there now and makes a block for Kinder, who takes it to the 25-yard line. 3 straight carries for Randy Kinder. Brian Howlett on the stop. The Notre Dame starting offensive unit. McDougal doesn't pass that often, but when he does, connects at a 60% clip. Dawson is his favorite target. Kinder, the freshman, Notre Dame's #2 rusher, coming in. And a real strength, the offensive line, keyed by All-American Aaron Taylor.
And you know when you play Notre Dame and Lou Holtz, you have to stop their running game first. And so far, Boston College has been unable to do that.
And take care of the football. This is one of the reasons Notre Dame is unbeaten. McDougal's first pass, it could have been intercepted, intended for Dawson. And a hustling defensive play by Michael Reed. He was intent on tackling Dawson. If he'd had his head up, he could have picked it off and gone all the way.
They rolled into the coverage. I think McDougal didn't realize there was going to be a rolled corner on this side. Throws to the wide side of the field, and very lucky that Michael Reed did not come up with his 3rd interception of the year, just as you said, Tom.
It's 3rd down, Notre Dame. 3rd and 4 from the Boston College 25. Scoreless first quarter. High formation, the tailback Kinder. Here's the option for McDougal. Stumbles and is stopped at the 30-yard line. Great Boston College defensive play by their leading stop man, Stephen Boyd, the junior linebacker from Valley Stream, New York.
The end of the line of scrimmage, Mike Mulla right there is going to end up making the play that forced McDougal back into the secondary. That allowed Boyd to come from his linebacker position, scrape off, and make the play.
Vela will hold for Kevin Pendergast, who will attempt the field goal. It'll be a 47-yarder. Blocked. Picked up by Boston College. Pendergast is there. The Irish trying to stop him at the 15-yard line. Stephen Boyd picked up the loose football and rambles all the way to the Irish 15-yard line. Jordan Halter kept him from scoring. Boyd with a tremendous play, picking up the loose ball.
Well, what a turn of events from last year. BC a year ago had absolutely nothing go right for them. Stephen Boyd, after he just made the stop on 3rd down, comes back, blocks the field goal, picks it up, and goes down to the Fighting Irish 15-yard line. There was a gap right between the guard and the tackle. The tackle blocked out, the guard blocked down, and that allowed Stephen Boyd to make the play.
Coughlin has the Eagles soaring, threatening to score. To punt, picked it up and rambled 55 yards, and BC will have a first down at the Irish 15.
Tom, I talked to Stephen Boyd yesterday, and he said that last year's Notre Dame film was the hardest film he ever had to watch in his life. Looks like he's intent on changing a few things this year.
Last year, when Boston College was beaten by Notre Dame 54-7, they didn't make it inside the Irish 20-yard line until the third quarter of the game. In fact, only twice in the whole contest.
And Tom Coughlin said that we just got our faces slapped. We didn't play with any passion or emotion. Well, so far today, the Eagles are playing with both.
The delay here, I think the officials are trying to restrain the Eagle mascot of Boston College. They backed him up a little bit, and now they take one of the pylons and plant it on the corner of the goal line, replacing one that had been knocked over.
He got benched.
First block of Kevin Pendergast's career has put the Eagles in scoring territory. There's all kinds of motion. They finally wind up in the I formation. Campbell is the tailback. He gets the pitch. Excuse me, it's Green. David Green stopped for a loss on the play. Greg Lane came up from the corner. Thomas Knight from a defensive end. And they combined to stop David Green, the Eagles' third leading rusher on the season.
And when you talk to Tom Coughlin and you ask him about all the motion that you see out of this BC offense, he said, hey, for the most part, it's just window dressing. I'm trying to get somebody from Notre Dame to move with me.
4 wides on 2nd and long for the Eagles. Nickel defense for the Irish. Draw play. Campbell stopped for another loss. On 2 straight running plays, the Eagles have netted a loss of 4. That time, Bryant Young and Jim Flanagan took care of things.
You just get the feeling that if Boston College is going to win this game today, it is going to have to be Glenn Foley. Don't really anticipate this BC team is going to be able to just line up and knock heads with Notre Dame and win it.
55.8%. They're facing a 3rd and 14. Foley's pass on target. Run out of bounds at the 10-yard line is Pete Mitchell, his 51st reception of the season. Burris rides him out, and the Eagles will be short of the first down.
Pete Mitchell's having another bang-up year for Boston College. 50 catches already. Really, that was almost a worthless pattern there, though. They picked up 7, 8, 9 yards and leads to 4th down. No shot at all at the end zone.
David Gordon is on to attempt the field goal. Be about a 28-yard attempt. This could give Boston College the lead. And it's good. Officially a 28-yarder for David Gordon. And after the superb play by number 50, Stephen Boyd, the Boston College Eagles have taken the lead.
The field goal, and all of Nebraska cheers as it goes through the goalpost.
David Gordon's left foot. Eagles have the lead.
On 3rd down and goal, Boston College converted the touchdown on a 5-yard pass, giving them a 10-0 lead as we jump ahead to the start of the 2nd quarter.
Glenn Foley trying to do it again to Notre Dame. He has Boston College on top 10-0 as we officially start the 2nd quarter. Foley, downfield diving attempt made by Ivan Boyd, who scored the touchdown a moment ago. He had gotten by Greg Lane. Foley misconnecting.
And Tom, I was wondering how long it was going to take for BC to take a shot down the field. Just runs right by Greg Lane. I don't know if that was a blown coverage or not, but Glenn Foley now has missed on a couple of great opportunities. That one should have gone for 82. He just blew that pass. But the Notre Dame defensive backs, Tom, have really been clamping down, and the opportunities down the field are there for BC.
Nickel defense for the Irish. Foley threw it right into the hands of Anthony Comer. He hadn't even turned around, and the ball was in his hands from Foley. It'll be short of the first down. Pete Bursich made sure of that.
Houdini couldn't have pulled this one off any better. They were right in the breadbasket. He had no choice but to catch it. Nice job of concentration by Anthony Comer. But not enough.
Jeff Beckley is on to punt for the Eagles. Standing at his own 11-yard line. Greg Johnson says let it bounce. It does to the 30-yard line. Mike Miller, the deep man for the Irish. It'll roll dead after 46 yards.
Well, Tom, we thought that if it was going to happen, it would happen today. An upset of Notre Dame after the unbelievable emotion of Florida State. Look at Aaron Taylor grabbing his quarterback and saying, come on, baby, let's go. We got to get it going here. We're number one, not them.
And Lou Holtz, prophetic, talking about the crowd being down and then blaming the team for not being up for the game. It looks like all hands a little flat after the great emotion of a week ago, but still a long time to go. BC up 10-0. McDougal, short drop, completes the pass to Johnson. Clint Johnson with a Notre Dame first down to the 47-yard line. 15-yard gain for the Irish on first down. Joe Camaro made the tackle.
And Tom, this is what Notre Dame is going to have to do. They've got to throw it on first down and keep BC out of that 8-man front. Right now, Lou Holtz is trying to get this Boston College defense a little off balance. Good call on first down.
Lou's son Skip, the offensive coordinator, said establish the run, keep them off balance with the pass. That's what they did there. Here's the option. McDougal keeps. Jumped over one man, gained about 4 yards. Eric Shorter with the tackle. Let's go to John Dockery.
You know, Tom and Chris, what's even more significant about this 10-0 Boston College lead is that they did it without the wind in that first quarter. They were actually facing into the wind. It's blowing from left to right. It's gusting. It's not quite as much as it was last week in the Florida State game, but still at times it gets significant and can affect the passing game. McDougal is throwing into it at the moment.
And he faces a 2nd and 7. Two wide receivers to McDougal's right as he changes the play. He looks that way and completes the pass there to Derek Mays. Got away from one man as the Notre Dame first down, just short of the BC 40. Shorter and Boyd, the tackle after 10 yards.
Believe it or not, this is what Steve Sabo wants to see out of Notre Dame. He wants them throwing on the early downs. He says, yes, they're going to complete a few, might even make some big plays, but I don't want Notre Dame doing what they did to Florida State, and that's just taking the football and running it down our throats.
Derek Mays with his first catch of the game heads to the sideline. Johnson and Dawson in there now. And again, McDougal changing the play. And off this time to Becton. Cut off one side, went to the other side, falls forward for a 2-yard gain. Mamula.
Mike Mamula is just having one bang-up game so far in this one. He has been all over the field and is having no problems whatsoever, no matter who he's lining up against. And for the most part, he's working against Aaron Taylor, the All-American. That time he came with the inside pass rush and met Zeller's head-on.
Mamula from Lackawanna, New York, all-stater in the Empire State. And a timeout taken by Notre Dame. It comes with 12:07 left in the second quarter. BC up 10. We're not seeing things. That's right. Boston College 10, Notre Dame nothing. Second quarter. 2nd and 9 for the Irish. Fake the reverse. McDougal looks to pass. Got away from one man. For Zellers, he's got it. Touchdown. Extra point by Pendergast after the 39-yard strike. And he got it through. So the Irish close to within a field goal on Ray Zeller's 39-yard touchdown reception.
Last week against Florida State, Adrian Gerald goes for the touchdown on the reverse. This time they go play action off of it. Nice move by McDougal. And right out of the backfield, Ray Zeller gets away from Eric Shorter. The trick play works for Notre Dame.
So the Irish finally on the board, but still trail. Talk about senior leadership. Every member of this Irish team has mentioned it as a key to their success. There's the senior, Kevin McDougall, after throwing the touchdown pass, passing around the handshakes, trying to get this Irish team fired up. Again, a short kickoff taken by Comer, and Anthony Comer finds room to the outside. He's all the way to the 35-yard line where he's tackled by Berry and Bobby Taylor. Let's go back to that 39-yard touchdown pass, the longest of Ray Zeller's career.
Well, Zellers gets credit for the touchdown, but McDougall, when he got away from Ted Page, bought enough time to work it down the field for the trick play and the touchdown. You know, Skip Holtz told us yesterday, he said, when we determine that we're even up with a football team, all that conservative offense goes out the book. And Lou Holtz is not afraid to open it up.
That was a 69-yard drive, only 4 of the yards coming on the ground. Green with a head of steam, bursts free for 9 yards, close to the 45. Jim Flanagan managed to trip him up as David Green really got rolling.
Well, David Green got a chance to start after an injury to Anthony Comer, and he has really taken advantage of it. He's averaged 6 yards per carry in the 3 games since and scored 4 touchdowns.
Green out now, replaced by Darnell Campbell. Campbell looks for a block. Cuts up. He has the first down to the 47-yard line. Berry and Taylor combined for the stop.
Mr. Touchdown himself leads the nation in scoring. More than 12 points a game, 19 touchdowns. He said, if you had told me I'd be leading the nation in scoring at the beginning of the year, I'd have called you a liar, but there he is on top.
In fact, how good is he in scoring? Look at some other Boston athletes where he ranks. Several of the Celtics have scored more, but he's outscored D. Brown, assistant of the Patriots, and Adam Oates of the Bruins. That's the kind of year Campbell's having. 6 carries, 14 yards today. Comer looks back for Foley. Foley looks downfield and hits his man, Mitchell. Justin Goheen knocks Mitchell to the turf as the Eagles come with a little razzle-dazzle for 16 yards.
Well, it almost looked like a play out of Bobby Bowden's playbook. They come this way, they're going to throw back, and then watch Jeff Burris. Maybe that's him, maybe him right here. But they have, looked like Burris was going to have a wide open shot at Campbell and just hesitates. Go get the guy. Absolutely inexplicable.
Foley goes for the end zone. Diving catch by Boyd. He got it. Second touchdown for Ivan Boyd. This one 36 yards from Foley. Wow.
And yes, there are a few BC fans here, and they've had plenty to cheer about so far. We talked about it earlier. The defensive backs from Notre Dame were beginning to squat, and Ivan Boyd just made them pay for it.
And he beat Notre Dame's best defender one-on-one, Bobby Taylor. 2 catches, 40 yards, 2 scores for Ivan Boyd. Gordon for the point after. Boots it through the uprights. Sensational catch by Ivan Boyd. He stretched out to pull it in.
Glenn Foley just drops. Ivan Boyd runs by you on the screen, and now it's just a foot race. Bobby Taylor has plenty of speed, but Ivan Boyd with the sensational catch. Great concentration by Ivan Boyd. You see the gap. He had clearly beaten Bobby Taylor, who was one of 9 semifinalists for the Jim Thorpe Award. And Glenn Foley, you betcha, he's having a good time.
With 5 minutes, 52 seconds to go in the first half, Notre Dame converted on a 4th down and goal misdirection play from a yard out. On the ensuing drive, Boston College answered when quarterback Glenn Foley hooked up with Pete Mitchell for an Eagles TD. So at the score now, Boston College 24, Notre Dame 14, we pick up the action near the start of the 3rd quarter. Boston College, facing 2nd down and 7, has the ball on the Notre Dame 37 right here on ESPN Classic.
Foley hands to Campbell, his first carry of the second half. And Darnell Campbell is to the 33-yard line. It'll be third down for Boston College.
Very impressive performance by BC in the first half. Remember, this is against the Notre Dame defense. Rick Minner thought at the beginning of the season they may be as good as any in Notre Dame Fighting Irish history. They only graduated 4 people off of this defense, but so far today, all BC.
Foley checking his options, finds Campbell, and Darnell Campbell out of bounds with a first down at the Irish 22-yard line. 12-yard gain. Foley looked at several options and finally found Campbell.
I know he's not thinking about this right now, but Glenn Foley is making himself some money this afternoon. Look at this. He's looked off at least 3 or 4 receivers before he finally found Darnell Campbell. So much confidence in that pocket. Again, credit the offensive line. What a performance so far this year in protecting Glenn Foley.
Green, the tailback. Campbell, the fullback. Now Green in motion. Handoff to Campbell. Touchdown. Foley collided with Darnell Campbell as he handed him the football. It didn't look good, but it worked. 21 yards as Campbell scores his 20th touchdown of the season.
And Lou Holtz with a few words for his defensive coordinator, Rick Minner. This is amazing. I haven't seen anybody all season run the football on the Fighting Irish the way that BC has done. They came in averaging over 500 yards of offense. We said, big deal. They had that same kind of offense last year. Got beat 54-7. This year they're living up to the billing. Amazing.
Gordon's extra point splits the uprights. Good field position, 4 plays. BC gets it done.
Nothing goes wrong for BC today. The cutback by Darnell Campbell bites off Bobby Taylor. And BC with a big, big lead.
Third straight touchdown by the Eagles.
You wonder why teams use motion? Watch Green here. As he goes in motion, it'll force the shift of the defense. Jeff Burris is going to have to go over the top, and then Darnell Green simply cuts it in behind him. There's no deep protection. It allows Darnell Campbell to go in for the score.
31-14 Boston College. Here's an attempted onside kick, and the ball's loose. Boston College may have gotten it. They think they do. Yes. Boston College has recovered an onside kick. Beckley was the kicker. Last year they said Lou Holtz was rubbing it in. Ahead 37-0 in the third quarter. He attempted a fake punt. Well, Boston College is rubbing it in at the moment. Steve Marciano recovers the onside kick, and in the blink of an eyelash, Steve Foley or Glenn Foley's back again.
You put your big defensive and offensive linemen up there in the front to block. They're not very adept at handling the football. What a shocker. Who would have ever anticipated an onside kick there?
Bert Berry had a chance to recover it for Notre Dame. He couldn't. And now Glenn Foley with a handoff, first down. Nothing there that time for Campbell. Well, this was the controversial play a year ago that Boston College has been talking about ever since. Third quarter, Craig Hendrick, the punter, and it's a fake.
37-0 at that point right there, Tom.
16-yard gain and an Irish first down. They went on to win 54-7. Have the idea watching this game that the Eagles never forgot. Already they've scored more points on Notre Dame in 34 minutes than the Irish have allowed in a single game all season. Foley's pass complete. Mitchell close to another first down. Justin Goheen cracked in good, but here on the sideline and back in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, a lot of smiles in the garnet and gold.
The same play we saw earlier. The inside tight end simply takes it up the field. Mitchell starts out, comes underneath the zone defense. It has worked all day, and Pete Mitchell has been unstoppable from the tight end position.
Fourth time the Eagles have met number 1 the last 20 years. They are 1-2, but about to pull the shocker of the season here today. Foley Wide open. Pass complete to Cannon, and Clarence Cannon has a BC first down as they continue to drive. This one completed on Bobby Taylor for 12 yards.
This is like watching Dan Marino work. They come out, they rotate the defense to the 3 wide receiver side at the top of your screen. Glenn Foley comes out, reads it, throws a little quick out to his wide receiver Clarence Cannon, who had the single coverage against Bobby Taylor. I mean, this is a work of art by Glenn Foley.
All-American Brian Young out of the game now, replaced by Oliver Gibson. And flags down.
Good ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Haven't been many mistakes by them today.
And what makes it so impressive as we take a look at the false start, Mark Borelli there just leaning in a little bit. And
they are keyed up.
They're ready to go hit anybody. But this has been so workmanlike today by Boston College. I mean, they don't even appear to be excited the fact that they're up 31-14.
The middle. Good run by Darnell Campbell. He showed you his power, 220 pounds. The senior from Brockton, who has averaged 5 yards a carry throughout the season and has been a workhorse again today.
Darnell Campbell, he's on the verge of becoming BC's 8th 100-yard rusher. Needs 148 yards in their final 2 games against Notre Dame, and then they have to go next week back-to-back undefeated teams, Notre Dame, then West Virginia next week.
75 yards he's gained today. Foley misconnecting with his intended receiver Ivan Boyd, and incomplete. Boyd turned inside, pass went outside.
Now Rick Minard and this defense has to make a play. You're down 31-14. You're looking at 3rd and 8. This is the moment. You've got to get the momentum back on your side. Get your offense back out on the field.
This drive started with an onside kick recovery. It faces a 3rd and 8 now from the 23 of the Irish. Foley with time and a man incomplete behind Miller. Bryant Young was collapsing on Foley, who had time at first and then went down in the teeth of the rush, and the pass incomplete.
Good job by Bryant Young to get some late pressure, force Foley to throw the ball just a little bit before he was ready to do it. Keith Miller had a chance to make the acrobatic catch. Couldn't make the play.
4th down, the field goal team on for Boston College. David Gordon will tee it up at about the 30-yard line. A 40-yard field goal attempt by Gordon. That is not going to be good, I don't think. It sails wide left. So Gordon misses and draws the biggest cheer of the day.
This crowd knows that the #1 ranking, the shot at the undefeated season, the chance for a national championship is slipping away. But now the emotion rises as Notre Dame's back on the field.
So the onside kick recovery results in no points for Boston College. Remember now, Notre Dame's first possession of the half was disastrous. Play action pass. McDougal has protection. Fires on the run, complete delay to Clint Johnson. And Johnson stopped after a gain of 8. Forced out of bounds by Joe Kamara and Eric Shorter.
Clint Johnson just has such great speed. You have to give him plenty of room on the outside. Nice pattern. They're going to not fool around with Clint Johnson. 4.3 speed, 2nd in the conference in the 55-meter finals. When it's 31-14, you'll give him that pattern.
Spot the ball right at the 30, so a gain of 7, setting up the 2nd and 3. Zellers spun down short of first down yardage. It'll bring up 3rd for the Irish. Darrell Porter got the tackle on Ray Zellers.
And all season long, when things have gotten tough for Lou Holtz and the Fighting Irish, they have been able to take the football and simply pound it down the field. Now the question is, can he do what he has not been able to do all day, and that's push around this BC defense.
Notre Dame has converted only 1 of 7 third downs in the game. Two wide receivers set left on 3rd and 1. Becton. Close to the first down, but I think he'll have it. Mamula made the tackle for Boston College.
Still plenty of time. I don't think that Lou Holtz has to come out of his game plan. He's a man that wants to see his team run the football first, establish some dominance up front, then come with the play action passes, then throw it when he wants to, not when he has to.
It is enough for the Notre Dame first down. Glenn Foley has had a big day. His revenge game. Lou Holtz sees his chances for the national championship slipping away. 8 minutes left, third quarter. Irish down 31-14. McDougall's pass wide open to Mays. Derek Mays bounces off tacklers. He's into BC territory, down to the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 18 and a Notre Dame first down.
Tom, this has been a play that's been here all day. You come out, you run the slant, that draws this guy out, opens the throwing lane. They've been able to work this play off the option all afternoon, and I think you're going to be seeing more of it. Skip Holtz, I'm sure, calling it up from the press box.
First down option. McDougall wrapped up, taken down from behind right at the line of scrimmage. Great play by Mamula again. What a defensive game he's had.
Coming from the backside, the option takes a little bit of time to get started. And
like a condor.
I mean, he is playing one whale of a football game today. We knew he was a good player, knew he had great speed. Didn't know he was going to have the afternoon that he is.
McDougall with time, and Mays again on the catch. Another Irish first down. Derek Mays, known for his clutch receptions. As a freshman last year, his first 3 catches were for touchdowns. This one for 16 yards.
Same play again, in the flat, underneath. And Kevin McDougall, very patient. It wasn't there at first glance. He stayed with it. Derek Mays finally came open. They have finally found a soft spot in this BC defense.
Mays, 4 catches, 64 yards. This time, Gerald and Stafford are in. Fresh wide receivers. Running play. Kinder takes it to the 30, gain of 2. Darryl Porter up quickly to stop the freshman Kinder as Becton comes back in with a play from Holtz.
And the significance there, Tom, being that Darryl Porter is a cornerback. It gives you some idea of what Steve Szabo is doing defensively. He will stay with his 8-man front, win or lose.
31-14, less than 6.5, third quarter, Notre Dame. McDougall option. Decides to keep, cuts up. Short gain, shy of the 25, wrapped up by Mamula and Howlett.
Steve Szabo obviously concerned about the option game from Notre Dame. What it does is it keeps you out of man-to-man coverage defensively. He said that Notre Dame's running at about 25% more this season than they did last year with Rick Meyer.
Johnson and Dawson wide to the left. Zellers, nothing. Hit immediately by Mamula. Give that guy 2 game balls today.
And 4th down now. I think Lou Holtz is going to go for it again. Mamula just lining up on the outside. You can't afford to not block that horse.
So Holtz once again will go for it on 4th down. 4th down and 4. 5 defensive backs on for BC. McDougall steps up, delivers, Mays, first down Irish. 19 yards and the 3rd clutch catch on this drive by the sophomore Derek Mays.
They are beginning to work the middle of the field. Lou Holtz says you want to play an 8-man front. That's fine with me. I know where the hole is. Right over the center, right in front of the quarterback. Derek Mays having a huge ball game.
And the senior Kevin McDougal showing the poise of the senior. Pitch defective. Looks for a block. Can't get it. Stopped at the 9-yard line. Not a loss of one, maybe. He falls forward close to the line of scrimmage. Who else? Mike Mamula.
Well, we wasted all our time making these defensive boards so we know who the players were that were making the tackles. We only needed one name, Mike Mamula. There he is again. I look for the slant again, Tom. It's there.
Mays, right to the top of your screen. McDougal in trouble, got away from the would-be sacker, and then is wrapped up back at the 12. Fourth sack for the Boston College defense. Yes, Mike Mamula. This guy is unreal.
And he's working against Todd Norman. Many people think that he's going to be a good player in the National Football League, but at least thus far in this one, it's been no contest. Mamula has been living in the backfield.
Missed him the first time and came back to get him.
Just great hustle. 4 sacks. What a day.
Third down and goal from the 11. McDougal gets a block from Zellers, but not enough. He tried to throw it away. He was in the grasp of Stephen Boyd. Will they rule it an incomplete pass? Yes. Intentional grounding was a possibility. Certainly the Boston College staff wanted it.
What a break for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They get to come on and kick a field goal. This was intentional grounding. I don't think there's any question. Stephen Boyd coming with the blitz. He just runs down Kevin McDougal. And McDougal just drops it right. That's not a pass. He's just trying to avoid the sack. That's intentional grounding.
That was a horrible non-call. 29-yard field goal attempt by Kevin Pendergast. Fela will hold. And Pendergast boots it through from 29 yards out. Irish get a break on a non-call, what appeared to be intentional grounding, to pull 3 points closer. Ready to start the fourth quarter. In this game, Boston College struck early, blocked a Notre Dame field goal attempt, got one of their own. Then Ivan Boyd with a touchdown reception made it 10-0 BC. Notre Dame got a Zellers 39-yard TD catch to close within 3, but BC answered with Boyd's second touchdown of the day. And in the second quarter still, Burris with a 1-yard run made it a 3-point game. But just before halftime, Mitchell, 3 yards away, scored to put it 24-14. Third quarter, BC gets Campbell with a touchdown, Pendergast a field goal. And as we start the fourth quarter, it is 31-17. Boston College with the ball, 2nd and 6 from the Notre Dame 40. Darnell Campbell, good blocking up front. Campbell to the 35, a yard short of the first down. This drive by BC set up by a sensational interception.
Just a simple swing route. They're going to come down and then up the field. Eric Shorter is going to break on the ball, but watch at the end of the play. Lake Dawson is going to break down and try and sit in the zone. If McDougal could have gotten him the ball sooner, would have been there for a big play. As it worked out, Eric Shorter came up with just a huge interception for BC.
And this could be a significant injury here. It's Darnell Campbell holding his right knee. He's carried 20 times for 92 yards today, including a touchdown. And being helped to his feet right now. It doesn't appear to be a serious injury.
See if we can pick up how he got hurt. Jim Flanagan with a shot there on the side of the knee, but a lot of times you get in one of those piles and you just fall the wrong way or land on somebody's helmet.
David Green has taken his spot in the backfield. Gordon Lauro is also there as the fullback in the eye. This is Green in motion. Len Foley rifles it across the middle. Diving catch made this time by Brent Gibbons, one of the 5 tight ends that Boston College has on its roster.
Going to have another safety blitz as Lou Holtz is trying to pull out all the stunts now. But a great job picking up the stunt and allowing Foley to hit his tight end over the middle. Just perfect execution all day long by BC.
13 yards on Gibbons' 6th catch of the season. First down BC, ball at the 22 of Notre Dame. Comer to the 20-yard line. That's about a 2-yard gain. Less than 14 minutes and ticking. Holtz has won 17 straight. His team number 1, bidding for the national championship. And each second now precious, trailing by 14. And Boston College again in scoring territory with the ball on the 20-yard line.
And even a field goal now does great damage to Notre Dame. They're sitting at a 14-point deficit right now, and a field goal takes that to 3 scores.
Jim Flanagan off the field. Oliver Gibson on to replace him for Notre Dame. He is straight ahead to Dwight Shirley, and Shirley kept his legs churning as inside the 15. Gibson and Bursich had him wrapped up, and he still kept going.
Shirley's their big, powerful, short yardage and goal line back. That is before Darnell Campbell became Mr. Touchdown. Last season, he got 8 touchdowns in short yardage and goal line situations. You saw he not interested in making a whole lot of moves. There's Darnell Campbell on the sideline getting taped up. I would imagine he'll be back.
Shirley gained over 600 yards last season. He's lined up next to Lauro. 3rd down and 2. And it is Shirley that has the first down. He's to the 10. It'll be first down. Boston College, perhaps first and goal, just at the 10-yard line. And the Eagles have indeed soared for Coughlin today.
You can't help but think of the game last week. The Florida State matchup in which the Seminoles had no success running the football against the Fighting Irish. And now the team in the same colored uniforms having great success.
College football, such an emotional game. And it was difficult for Notre Dame to bounce back. This is an official's timeout.
Tom, I just think the one thing that maybe even Notre Dame underestimated was how embarrassed this BC team was when they got on the plane, had to leave after going undefeated through the whole season. Only had 1 blemish, 1 tie on the record, 7-0-1 through the first 8 games, got destroyed in South Bend. And the memories have been with them for a year.
54-7 was the final at Notre Dame Stadium a year ago. Glenn Foley was the quarterback then, too. First down, BC. The ball right at the 10-yard line. It's first and goal. They cannot make a first down, and a flag flies before the ball can be snapped.
Dead ball, false start. Gets the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So it'll be first and goal now from the 15.
Pete Kendall, the fine left tackle, fell down, and Glenn Foley's going to jump his shorts a little bit after making that mistake. He's saying, Pete, come on, we're so close, baby, don't blow it now.
Well, the seniors called a meeting after going 0-2 to turn this season around, and they have. Pass incomplete, intended for Ivan Boyd. Already has 2 touchdowns today. If he could have held the ball there, he'd have had number 3.
Just hit him right in the hands. Ivan Boyd, who's played so well already in this game. And you wonder now if Tom Coughlin may go a little conservative. He gets Darnell Campbell back in the lineup, his big fullback. Remember, a field goal does almost as much damage in this situation as does a touchdown. You certainly don't want a turnover on this end of the field.
Second and goal from the 15. 11:55 left in the game. 31-17 Boston College. Draw play. Campbell to the 1. Just tripped up by Justin Goheen, a yard from Pater.
I love the call here by Tom Coughlin. He puts in 4 wide receivers, spreads out the Fighting Irish, comes with the quick trap up the middle. Tom Coughlin has been absolutely brilliant calling plays this afternoon. A masterful job by that man right there. The New York Giants wanted him as their head football coach. He turned him down, said there was unfinished business at BC. You wonder if he had Notre Dame in the back of his mind.
Third and goal, play action pass. Foley has a man open. Mitchell for the touchdown. Cheers stretching all the way from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts to Lincoln, Nebraska.
You run it when they expect you to throw. You throw it when they expect you to run. Tom Coughlin has had an answer for everything today.
David Gordon, point after. 11-13 left in the game, and BC now up 38-17.
Pete Mitchell in motion right at you. They fake the run this side. Just slip Mitchell out of the backfield. Nobody there. Nice catch.
And Glenn Foley, 23 of 35, 238 yards. His coach, Tom Coughlin, still attending to business. And Mike Mamula, the defensive star of the game. They can smell it now. Last week against Notre Dame, Charlie Ward of Florida State, shoe in for the Heisman Trophy, hit 31 of 50, 297 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Look what Glenn Foley of Boston College has done today. 23 of 35, 238, 4 touchdown passes without an interception. And the Boston College Eagles over a 2-touchdown underdog, leading 38-17. There's the squib kick by Beckley. And a pretty good return by Clint Johnson.
And Tom, maybe the most disappointed group other than Lou Holtz and the Fighting Irish, should this score hold up, would be Florida State, because I don't think there's any question that Nebraska would then leapfrog both Notre Dame and Florida State to #1 in the polls if this score does hold up.
Notre Dame, 3 wide receivers in the game now. They've got to score quickly. McDougal passes to Dawson, catches it for a short gain, just shy of midfield. Tackle immediately made by Joe Kamara.
But this clearly is not the strength of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish when they get in a situation where they have to throw the football nearly on every down.
Dawson wide to the bottom of your screen. McDougal looks for him. It's not there. Goes across the middle to Mays. Derek Mays just tripped up inside the 30-yard line. Another big catch by Derek Mays. He's been a bright spot for the Irish today. Shorter just managed to prevent further damage after 22 yards.
Tom, like I just said, there's no question the strength of the Notre Dame team is dropping back and throwing the ball. These guys, Devin McDougal, he got beat out by the freshman Ron Paulus early in training camp. He wanted his shot to lead his team to the national championship. Well, there it is.
Becton on the draw. Lee Becton inside the 10. Touchdown, Notre Dame. To score.
And you don't get to be #1 in the country without having some heart. No question about the heart of Lee Becton, of Lou Holtz, and the Fighting Irish. And this could be a big blow. That's Eric Shorter, their strong safety, who has been so effective in stopping this Notre Dame rushing attack today.
Remember, in the first quarter, Michael Reed, starting cornerback, left the BC lineup with an injury.
Just like they did last week against Florida State on some key drives. They soften them up early with a couple of passes. Nice move there by Lee Becton. And then it's just off to the races.
And now Notre Dame will go for the 2-point conversion. Notre Dame going for 2, trailing 38-23 with 10-12 left.
This is interesting.
Becton and Zellers in the backfield. Two wide receivers to the right, Dawson and Johnson. Pitch to Becton. He's going to throw back to McDougal, and they get the 2 points. Trick play for the Irish. 2-point conversion. Now the crowd's into it. It's 38-25 and 10-12 still left.
Wake up the echoes, baby. Somebody call Newt Rockney. Somebody call George Gibb. Bring them all out. They need them all. The trick play. Back to McDougal. A 13-point game. Will it never end?
Now the big question, though, can the Irish defense hold the Eagles? 23 Irish seniors hoping for a miracle finish to a miracle season. 38-25. Boston College on top with 10-12 left. The Eagles expect an onside kick from Notre Dame. Pendergast kicks it away. Fielded at the 7-yard line. Tony Ransom to the 23. And now Glenn Foley and his high-octane offense back on the field. Today, Foley has already moved up the Boston College passing ranks to number 2 in yard passing per season, trailing only Doug Flutie. He's moved up 2 spots today with his performance, but the most important yards perhaps yet to come. He needs to get some now to preserve the win and take the momentum away from Notre Dame. This is the worst starting field position for the Eagles today. The ball is back at their own 23-yard line. Jim Flanagan back in the defense for Notre Dame. Foley pumps, nowhere to go, being chased, finally finds Campbell, and Campbell bangs to the 30 and across to the 32-yard line, tripped up by Bobby Taylor and by Bryant Young, who was putting the pressure on Glenn Foley, and he found Campbell. Wow.
This is unbelievable. I mean, they got a simple screen. It's not there. Start scrambling around. Oh, yeah, let's come back one more time. Darnell Campbell makes the... It's just unbelievable. What a play by Glenn Foley.
Was Jim Flanagan telling us yesterday that his performance against Florida State was sort of an out-of-body experience. He was sort of unconscious with everything in slow motion. And there are several, I think, Eagles having that experience today. Foley and Mamula, 2 of them. It'll be short of the first down.
Man, you just never expect to see that kind of protection on a screen pass. On a screen pass, the offensive line is gone. I mean, you would think that you take a sack in that situation, but somehow Glenn Foley scrambled around, and then at the last second, looked back, found Darnell Campbell. Lou Holtz can't get it figured out.
His national championship hopes riding on his defense at the moment. Last time his offense had the ball, it took him just a minute to score. But the defense has to hold sometime today. Defense now deploying 5 defensive backs, even though it's 2nd and 1.
This is a passing down, Tom. You assume the first down on 3rd down.
Like you said, they run it to Campbell and get the first down to the 35, and perhaps working a little clock.
No mercy, do you? You have absolutely no mercy. I really thought that Tom Coughlin might try to take advantage of that situation, but in this situation, obviously enjoying watching those chains move and the clock tick.
Clock restarted after stopping momentarily for the first down. It's a college rule. Campbell and Green in the backfield. Campbell's carried 22 times, 110 yards. First ball carry over 100. Foley shows us his scrambling ability now, and Glenn Foley slides down at the 44-yard line, covered by Justin Goheen.
Again, Burris going to come with the safety blitz here. Foley's going to step up inside of him. That's what opened the hole. Burris from the outside, that creates the hole inside, and then the scramble is on as Foley outruns Justin Goheen.
First time we've seen Foley run today, and heads up as always, kept his knee down inbounds. Clock continues to run. Looks for a block. Cuts it back close to midfield. Bryant Young had him by the ankles.
Methodical, so methodical, this Boston College offense. Every time Notre Dame comes back, creates a little momentum of their own. It's Glenn Foley, it's Tom Coughlin, it's the BC offense that has been unstoppable here this afternoon.
Boston College began the season 0-2 before reeling off 7 wins in a row. This would be number 8, but number 1 for all time for the Eagles. David Green, tackled by Flanagan.
Tom, during the course of this win streak, they have knocked off a couple of nationally ranked teams, Syracuse and Virginia Tech, but certainly none the caliber of Lou Holt's Fighting Irish.
We asked Glenn Foley yesterday, what would it mean to beat Notre Dame? He said, monumental.
But he's kept his cool.
Incomplete. Taylor might have had a chance to intercept it.
That's one of those that could be a walk-in touchdown for Bobby Taylor. There's communication on the outside that time. BC very lucky that this didn't become a 6-point game in a hurry.
Boston College playing on grass for the first and only time this season today. They didn't even get a chance to practice on it before the game because their normal practice field, the one they use in preseason, Commodore Shea Field next to the stadium, is used as a parking lot covered with mud. Foley's pass. Mitchell again cradles it for a key first down. Pete Bursich was all over Pete Mitchell. Then Mitchell able to hold on. Why doesn't that surprise me?
Tom, what's been happening here is that they are double teaming Pete Mitchell. But it doesn't matter. What they're doing is they're running to the inside part of it. They're double teaming with a linebacker and a defensive back inside and outside. And that allows Pete Mitchell, when he works to the inside, to go against the linebacker. Nice play design again by Tom Coughlin.
7 minutes left. 38-25 Boston College. Green. Little game.
Burris again with the safety blitz from the outside can be just as effective against the run as it can be against the pass. Notre Dame now forced to take some gambles. They've got to stop Boston College and get the football back under 6.5 minutes.
Boston College bidding to be a player in the national championship picture if they go to one of the big bowls. Perhaps matched up with a team that has a chance to win it all if they can knock off Notre Dame today, West Virginia next week.
Again, Tom Coughlin taking advantage of Bobby Taylor over there on the left side. Bobby Taylor was burned earlier in the ball game, and he's been a little cautious in the secondary. A very short completion underneath, but we haven't seen the same aggressiveness out of Bobby Taylor that we've seen in some earlier games.
3rd and 3, imperative for the Irish to stop BC here. Clock down to 5:40. 10th play of this BC drive, which may prove to be the most decisive. Foley fumbles, and the Irish have it. Jim Flanagan.
They've been so perfect all afternoon. The biggest mistake, the simplest play to execute, just the center snap. No mistakes, and now Glenn Foley turns the ball over, and Notre Dame back in business.
And McDougal looking for it all. Downfield and broken up. Intended for Clint Johnson, broken up at the last minute by Boston College Joe Kamara.
Top of your screen, Camaro working against Clint Johnson. Just a jump ball situation. Johnson tries to go up. Didn't get off his feet early enough. But what that does, I like the call on first down. It'll stretch that BC defense. Now look for some crossing routes over the middle.
Play action. McDougal to Mays. Derek Mays to the 48-yard line. That'll go for 15 yards. First down, Irish. McDougal, the senior quarterback. He waited 3 years for his chance. He played horribly in the first 2 scrimmages for Notre Dame preseason.
And Tom, what that long pass did was it just simply put the thought in the back of the minds of the defensive backs. They will throw deep. They send someone down the middle and then loop Mays in the middle.
Becton. BC territory to the 45. Kevin McDougal, after playing so poorly in the 2 preseason scrimmages, apparently had lost his job to freshman Ron Paulus. Paulus was injured. McDougal went to Coach Lou Holtz and said, "Coach, I'm confident I can lead you to the national championship." If he's going to do it, he'll have to pull this one out against BC. Down the sideline for Mays. Broken up. Great defensive play. At the last minute, Terrence Wiggins came across to bat the ball to the turf.
A 2-deep zone, and Terrence Wiggins, this is his job. As a safety, you have to be able to get there to make this play a fingertip away, or Derek Mays goes the distance.
It's third down for the Irish, 3rd and 3. Becton. He's got the first down. Lee Becton to the 20. Becton cuts back to the 3-yard line. Becton for 41. Sixth straight game, Lee Becton exceeds 100 yards rushing.
Tom, what has happened now is BC has gone back to a base defense. They're playing with 7 up front, 4 in the backfield. Lou Holtz saw it. He called for the run, and Lee Becton is now having a huge game.
Paul Fay-like quarterback. Handing to Zellers. Touchdown.
Set that up.
And now Pendergast will try to kick the extra point. He's got it. 4 minutes and 2 seconds are left, and suddenly it's a 6-point game.
Just power football now by Notre Dame. Ray Zellers off tackle. No way you keep him out of the end zone. Wow.
4:02 left. Wow. We'll be back. Notre Dame within 6 points. Only 4 minutes, 2 seconds left. Is that enough? Well, the last touchdown drive by Notre Dame took only 1 minute, 27 seconds. The one before that, 1 minute 1. But first, the defense must hold Boston College. Pendergast with the kickoff. Ransom from the 5. Ransom with a good return, ridden down at the 32-yard line. Lee Becton has come on here in the second half.
Now over 1,000 yards, 1,074 for the season. He said he never saw the final pass last week from Charlie Ward. He was on the sideline praying. Wouldn't be surprised if he resumes that position now.
The last 2 times Boston College had the ball, they consumed over 4 minutes. If that happens now, they'll win the game. Foley on the play action. Broken up. Lane knocked it away from Cannon.
Huge play by Greg Lane, who told us yesterday that as a freshman he considered leaving Notre Dame. The pressure was too great. He was thrown in as a starting defensive back. He said, I wanted to hide from the pressure, not be a part of it. Well, here he is right in the middle of the hunt and responding.
The senior on senior day with a huge play. 5 defensive backs now, 2nd and 10. Foley hands off to Campbell. Only a yard.
Remember now, because Lou Holtz went for 2 before, this is just a 6-point ball game. If Notre Dame's defense can hold on 3rd and 9, give the offense the ball back. This offense is red hot right now. They've been scoring at will, but here is the play of the ball game.
Boston College has converted 9 of 15 third downs. Full complement of timeouts left, both sides. Fumble. Foley got it back, but they'll have to punt.
They may have to put it on Tom Coughlin's tombstone. We fumbled 2 center snaps at Notre Dame when we were killing them. Looked like Glenn Foley just pulled out too soon. Unbelievable that this game may turn on the inability of Glenn Foley and his center Tom Nalen to make a simple center exchange to the quarterback.
Timeout Notre Dame. 2 minutes, 59 seconds left. 2 minutes, 59 seconds away from what would be an unbeaten regular season and a shot at the national championship. They trail by 6 points.
And now it all comes down to Kevin McDougal. He wanted his chance. He wanted the opportunity to prove to Lou Holtz, to prove to his teammates that he could get the job done. He told Lou Holtz, I know you may have lost some confidence in me in those preseason exhibitions, but I can lead you to a national championship. Now here he is.
Under Lou Holtz, special teams have always been a priority, and returning kickoffs and punts for touchdowns has almost become commonplace. This time it's Mike Miller deep to receive Beckley's 2nd punt of the day. Sailing punt by Beckley, backtracking Miller. Gets to the outside and then is caught from behind. Boyd with a great play, 11 yards on the return after Beckley booted at 47.
That had shades of the Rocket right there. I was thinking back to the Orange Bowl. He was 1 step away.
Last year, final home game, Rick Meyer pulled out the victory over Penn State. Kevin McDougal has already had his best passing day at Notre Dame, but can he pull out the victory? Going deep for Mays. Great catch!
with an unbelievable catch. He's been the go-to guy all afternoon. That time he gets in behind the BC defense. Inexplicable that on first down they can come up with that kind of a bomb behind this defense.
Zeller's inside the 10.
Notre Dame wants to take their time out. This Boston College defense is confused. They've been up there in the 8-man front all day, but now Kevin McDougal is making them pay for it with these deep bombs, with the throws over the middle. That long pass to Derek Mays was set up by the crossing route earlier. They came back and threw it to the deep man this time. And this place is going berserk.
One man never lost faith. There he is. And remember that single candle in the grotto? Is it enough?
Maybe that was the one.
Zellers and Becton, 3 wides. Lee Becton pounds to the 5. Charles Stafford brings the play in from the sideline.
This offensive line has been so dominant all year. They have just taken defenses and moved them at will. Will Lou Holtz stay with them? Will he let this offensive line try to win the game?
McDougal to Becton. Screen set up. Becton didn't get much to the 4-yard line. There's Stephen Boyd with another great play on the BC defense.
Interesting that Lou Holtz would come with a screen pass with a flare there. You've got the big studs up front, 295 pounds. Now they're down to 4 yards. 2 plays remaining for a shot at the title.
Ball at the 4, 3rd and goal. You see the time. Notre Dame down 6. McDougal has all the time he needs. Throws, broken up, it'll be 4th down. Lake Dawson, the intended receiver.
That time Derek Mays was open in the corner of the end zone. But just as he popped free, Kevin McDougal looked back the other way. Inches away. One play.
And Holtz will talk it over.
Tom, we have seen in the past, Notre Dame, when they get in tight clutch situations, they love a late tailback or a fullback slip pattern coming out of the backfield. We saw it last year against Penn State. It worked to perfection. Will they now come back with it? We haven't seen it the entire ball game. Just take a deep breath now.
Well, Kevin McDougal, the senior quarterback, said the games are fun because the practices are hell. That Lou Holtz put so much pressure on you in practice that when you get to the game, you're ready. And there was one candle in the grotto. Is one candle power enough? One final prayer for Notre Dame. 4th and goal from the 4 with the national championship perhaps hanging in the balance. Zellers and Becton in the eye. Mays right, Dawson left. McDougal. Touchdown, Dawson! McDougal, what a story. And now Kevin Pendergast, the converted soccer player, the extra point to put Notre Dame ahead. Yes.
Who had a miserable performance Dawson comes up, starts to the outside, breaks underneath on Joe Kamara, and then it's just a foot race. Kevin McDougal waits, he waits, finally finds him in the back of the end zone. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Kudos to the offensive line as well. They gave McDougal a chance to sit there and wait on Dawson to come free.
And the Irish have scored 3 touchdowns in 11 minutes to go ahead by 39-38, 109 left, and Foley hoping for a miracle of his own. Here's the kick by Pendergast. He's pumped up, kicks it all the way to the 3 where it's fumbled. Stopped at the 10-yard line, so the Eagles will be backed up. Flag down, flag on the play.
Tom, did you see who was the first one down there to make the hit? The senior, Dean Lytle.
Personal foul, though, against the Irish.
Don't forget Glenn Foley and his Eagle offense. They have 38 points on the board, and but for 2 bad center snaps, they haven't been stopped all afternoon.
After the return, dead ball, personal foul against the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
BC up on the line, ready to go. The ball spotted at the 25. 1:01 left. And now the defense of the Irish must hold against this powerful BC offense. Glenn Foley. Scrambles. Short hops Mitchell, incomplete. Taylor was defending Pete Mitchell. It'll be second down. Clock shows 55 seconds.
Still plenty of time. Glenn Foley had a chance to run the football. BC has 3 timeouts. No question, with the way that this BC offense has been working all day, they can move this thing down in field goal position.
Foley got rid of it, almost intercepted. Did Boyd catch it? No, incomplete. Incomplete. Pete Bursich had it. And it went right through his hands.
Bursich had it, and then Jeff Burris had it. 2 different tip balls. Tip balls have not been the friend of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Just ask Brian McGee.
Nice job, though, by Burris getting his hand in there. Now third down.
Foley's pass to Mitchell complete. Mitchell driving. He's got a first down. Clock stops on the first down at 38 seconds. Bursich and Lane made the tackle. Boston College still alive. 12 catches today for Pete Mitchell.
And Tom, David Gordon, the place kicker for BC, he missed a 40-yarder earlier this year that would have given them the win against Northwestern. His longest of the season has been 39 yards.
Swing pass complete to Comer. Takes it out of bounds. It'll be short of the first down. Stops the clock. 27 seconds left.
Prayers all around in this football game. So well played. But for those 2 center snaps.
And the luck of the Irish. What about the touchdown that didn't count? BC didn't get the call. Foley now must scramble. Spots Mitchell again. Mitchell is to the 33-yard line. Timeout, Boston College, 18 seconds left. There's the field goal kicker, David Gordon. He's a senior on senior day.
Great job here by Glenn Foley, keeping his eyes open, looking down the field. He had a wide open field, but he spotted Pete Mitchell as he has done all day long, and now just short of field goal range. I don't think that David Gordon has the leg to kick a 50-yarder. Longest of the season is 39. 0 for 1 from the 40 to 49-yard range. 1 for 2 from 30 to 39 yards. They need about 10 yards to give David Gordon a legitimate shot at the win.
And Aaron Taylor and some of the other seniors that are on the offensive unit have just come out to speak to the defensive team, impressing upon them the importance, the Notre Dame tradition you just can't escape it. And Glenn Foley with a heads-up play that last time, perilously close to being across the line of scrimmage. And earlier in the game, the call that didn't go BC's way, Clarence Cannon gets a foot down in the end zone. It should be a touchdown. It was not ruled a touchdown. Right now, Boston College down a point. 18 seconds left. The ball's at the 33 of the Irish. Blitz, and Foley let it go. Incomplete. Jeff Burris came right up the middle in the face of Glenn Foley. He threw it away. Clock stops at 12.
Jeff Burris with the safety blitz right up the middle. If Glenn Foley gets sacked there, they're out of field goal range. Nice job of just taking it and throwing it away. Rick Minner throwing everything now. This Boston College offense, they have to make one more play.
Minner sends 6 defensive backs on. Pass is complete to Boyd. Ivan Boyd fights his way to the 24-yard line, maybe the 23. Jim Flanagan tackles him there. Timeout, 5 seconds left. And Gordon will come on to try to win it for Boston College.
Well, one thing we knew is this game had to come down to the final play. I've watched a lot of football, Tom Hammond, but I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like this.
And what about a week ago? The game came down to the final play. A year ago against Penn State, it was almost the final play.
Go back to the second game of the season. BC had a chance to win against Northwestern. 1:07 left on the clock. David Gordon called on to kick a 40-yard field goal. He missed that one. He gets a chance at major redemption in South Bend.
Well, we talked about prayers. And the other major college Catholic football school is over there saying prayers of their own right now. Some unity on the BC sideline. Let me tell you, they have played one whale of a game against the #1 team in the nation.
And Tom, we're not exactly sure who lit that candle.
We'll know in 5 seconds.
Nothing left to talk about now.
Glenn Foley will hold. The left-footed kicker, David Gordon, 41-yard attempt to win the game and end the Irish national championship hopes. John Dockery.
Coach, what does this win mean to you to be in NBC?
It means you just beat the #1 team in the nation. That's what it means. It means a great job of courage by our football team. You couldn't have a finish any better than that finish right there. And they are a great football team.
What was the difference today? Why were we able to move the ball so well?
Because we played, we're a better football team than we were a year ago. We had great determination and courage. The kids made a great effort.
Was part of it a payback for last year?
Oh, hell no. It's a great football game. 2 different years, 2 different teams.
Congratulations,
Thank
Coach.
You. 2 courageous teams, Boston College and Notre Dame. It appeared that BC had the knockout punch. Notre Dame came back with a minute left. Glenn Foley, who almost had cost his team the game with 2 fumbles on the center exchange, drives his team down the field for David Gordon's winning field goal. And the last time Notre Dame was #1, Penn State beat them with a last-minute field goal. Today, it's Boston College that knocks the Irish from that lofty spot.
The sign says play like a champion. It applies to both these teams today. Reminds you a little bit of old Doug Flutie, doesn't it? That game against Miami in the Orange Bowl.
The clutch kick by David Gordon, the senior from Avon, Connecticut. And from 41 yards out, he nails it through. Great job of Foley taking down the high snap. Biggest win of Tom Coughlin's career. 8 straight for the Eagles.
They wanted him to go back to professional football. They wanted him to be the head coach of the New York Giants. He said we had unfinished business. Maybe he just finished a little this afternoon.
And so the Notre Dame winning streak stopped at 17 in a row. And this team, which doesn't have a superstar on it, it had somewhat of a miracle season, and today the miracles ran out. Perhaps one candle wasn't enough.
The world premiere of sports